Right, and finally, Eid-el-Kabir festival is at the corner of Muslim in Nigerians. Are not smiling at all just yet. Muslim faithful across the country are lamenting over the high cost of ram and other animals permissible for slaughtering during the festival. Traders attribute the price hike to cost of transportation occasioned by removal of fuel subsidy and Naira devaluation, which has weakened the purchasing power of citizens. I think the ram will not flow the way it was last year. And when a survey in Abuja is saying that people are buying ram as much as 600,000, 700,000, just for ram, not cow.
Well, first of all, let me wish our Muslim brothers happy celebration in advance, and also to remind Nigerians about the unity of faith. Because what we are celebrating, what we are going to be celebrating in a few days, is also, though it's Islamic, but it's also a Christian tradition. It's about Abraham, when he presented his son, Isaac, to be slaughtered, and suddenly God appeared and gave him a ram. That's what Muslims are celebrating. In Islam, they call Ibrahim, and Isaac is Ismail. So it shows that we are one people, we are one religion, And we as Christians, Muslims, we need to celebrate this together because it's part of the same tradition. There's no need for us to see ourselves as different people. I think that there is no way the economy will also not affect people's spirituality and faith. That is exactly what we are seeing now. I believe a lot of people will not be able to buy ram. People that used to buy in the past. You are not talking about 300,000. Something that we used to buy 60,000 naira before. And the tradition is that in Islam, when you kill the ram, you divide it into three. One is for yourself, the other one is for your family, the third one is to be given to people in need. But you see that this kind of age-long tradition created for thousands of hundreds of years will be affected just because of the economy that the economic situation we find ourselves. A ram now in some place, a very big one. They tell you 500,000 naira. The cost of buying a car in the past. So I'm wondering how people are going to cope. So if people cannot meet their spiritual need just because of the economy, it's a very serious problem. This means that your spiritual freedom is being affected by the kind of economic situation you find yourself. And in fact, there's just no shortcut because you can't get this thing free anyway. You just have to go to the market to buy. But I will just plead that for people who cannot afford it, it is not compulsory. You have to cut your coat according to your size.
Very painful indeed.
Yeah. Yes. My first degree is in religion. And Islam was part of the Islamic religion, was part of my subsidiary from my first year to the fourth year. And remember what Professor Ransin and like Professor Akintola used to teach us in those days. It's not compulsory that every Muslim must kill a ram. If you can afford it, you kill it. If you cannot afford it, there are other alternatives you can also use. So let people not push themselves to the brim that, yes, you must. Because there have been instances where some people will go around and even steal just because they want to meet up with that thing. Islam is totally against that. But it's the reality that is facing us. Meanwhile, in those days, those of us that are Christians, as young children, this is the festival we enjoy the most. Yes, yes. Because we'll continue. I remember I would go to my friend's place. Alaja, the mother of my friend, Kayode, who come from that place.
That day.
We'll go to over 5, all our friends that are Muslim. We'll be moving from one point to another. As we are doing, we are collecting, we are keeping in nylon, taking meat and the rest of it. That we eat, even for over a week. But the situation has changed. So, but it's the reality we find ourselves. Is this somebody that cannot afford to buy fuel, to power his generator or even car, or to travel or move around? I'll be thinking of car. We are in serious problem. And that is why I've been saying that the government, we still have to do more. We still have to do more. We are talking of just ram. What of the rice you are going to eat? What of the condiments? If I go and ask madam how much they sell tomatoes, if madam comes back home and show you the tomatoes she bought for 5,000 naira, you'll be shocked. If madam had been giving you 3 meats every day when you are eating, I'm sure madam must have been reducing it for you, no matter whatever you look at. So that is the situation we find ourselves. But in all we do, it is not just about the meat. It is about the faith and the good to others. This is a time for collective responsibility. Whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Muslim, this time calls for prayer, serious prayer for our country. Just as the Muslims are going to Mecca and the Christians are going to Jerusalem, we should try to look at possibility, pray for Nigeria. Because in the churches, while you're a Christian, in the churches, during prayer, they say, pray. There's a point where they say, let us pray for Nigeria, let us pray for our leaders. That is what is happening in Nigerian churches now. So it is just quite unfortunate that this is how we find ourselves. But will it get better? It can get better if we do the right thing.
You know, part of what people do around this time is to go to their home states. You know, most people don't stay in Lagos, they don't stay in Abuja. They want to migrate, go to their home state to celebrate this Ileya festival with their families. And cost of transportation, apart from RAM now, cost of transportation is mind-boggling.
Yes, it is.
Bikio, are you there? I think we lost connection with Bikio. Bikio, are you there?
And when you fill the tank, along the way, you still have to buy because it will guzzle. It's a V8, so it will guzzle well. So people are going through a lot. And the cheapest, perhaps the cheapest rams that you can get are in the range of 180,000 these days. Some cost as much as 500,000, 700,000, and even 1 million. You know that the bulk of these rams are not bred in Nigeria. They are from Chad and Niger Republic. So the exchange rate plays a big part in the price of rams, because they are not. When you see Nigerian rams, our rams are not as big as the ones from those neighboring countries, from Chad and Niger Republic, and our people prefer those ones from Chad and Niger because of their size. You know, they believe that it makes sense to slaughter those ones. So, and a good number of the places where they used to breed rams in our country, insecurity has ensured that ram buyers, you know, those who buy and sell, cannot even access those places anymore, because people used to take trailers, go into those communities where people breed livestock to buy rams in ample quantity. They cannot do that the way they used to do, because some of those communities now are no-go areas. So that inevitably would drive up the price, coupled with the fact that the Naira, after the Naira was left to float, is another name for devaluation. After the Naira was left to float, it went to like 770 in the black market, and about 757 in the importers and exporters window. So this is a situation that we have found ourselves. It's unfortunate that a good number of people won't be able to slaughter around this year. Some who have been doing it for many years, it will really pain them that it has gone out of reach this year. But I believe that our country would begin to attain prosperity again. So these difficult measures have been predicted. They've been recommended to us that, look, if we want recovery to happen, we must first go through this difficult phase. Once we go through this difficult phase, the economy will begin to do well again. Things will stabilize. In the foreign exchange market, things will stabilize, the dollar liquidity will become a thing of the past because foreigners, foreign direct investment will come in once we can attain stability in that sector. They will come in. A lot of them left our country, but they will come in when they can see that there is stability and they too can plan and they can move their money out without difficulty. Right now, people can't move their dollars out. You are doing business in the country. You can't move the money, the dollars that you have made. You can't move it out of the country. Look at what is happening in the aviation sector. So we need these difficult steps that the new president is taking. Will ultimately lead to a better Nigeria. But we have to be patient. We have to endure. We have to bear in mind that Rome was not built in a day, and that no pain, no gain. Gain will come after a season of pain. So this is my own submission on this. I wish our people and Muslim friends, Barika da Salah, when we return to Lagos, they should keep our meat for us. We are not going to take excuses that they cannot slaughter them. We know those of them who, in spite of the difficulties, can still slaughter them. So we are waiting. They should keep our meat for us. No excuses. Don't blame Bola Tinubu for inability to slaughter. Give me my own portion of the ram. Because once I come back, I'll be knocking on your doors. It's a happy season. It's a season that we always look forward to with our Muslim friends.
Yes, sir.
Our friends Moji Jami and the rest of them.
Moji Jami.
We are saying happy Salah in advance. Yes.
Ramadan.
GKB, all of them.
Yes, we know that. Abi Baruna and
Abi Baruna.
We go to the house. I would thank you, Chris Kende, who want to do for your contribution today.
Thank you very much for having me.
I would thank you, Wale Adeyi,
Thank you
for all your contribution. And BKO, please, when you are coming, bring those rams with you.
There are rams in Abuja too. BKO, bring for us.
Don't search your bag, please. Bring for us. And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for a regular episode of Journalist Hangout by 5 p.m. You can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode tonight at 11:30 p.m. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Ozubakun. See you tomorrow, and God bless Nigeria.